Hello everybody again from Simplyfoodea YouTube channel. As I have mentioned in the previous tutorials, I have promised to talk to you about the audit and review reports in your HACCP plan, which is very critical and very important topic in your HACCP plan. So let's deep dive in the audit report, how it looks like and what are the best criteria for the audit reports to be in your HACCP plan. First, you will mention the date. Let me zoom the screen. First, you will mention the date of the audit. Okay, so what are the date of the audit? Then you will mention the audit type. The audit type are very important because there is different kinds of audit in on your facility or on your plant. Either it's an internal audit, either it's an external audit, either, for example, it's a HACCP system review. So audit type is very important. So you must mention what type of audit you are having in this part. Either it is internal audit, external audit, or HACCP system review. Okay. Then, what are the finding or what are the observation? Please, in details, it's very important. In details, mention what are the finding, the either the as you as an auditor you find, or either the external audit found something which is, if the finding you have mentioned is not clear, please ask him to clear the sentence with good terminologies so you can understand what exactly the issue. So you will mention or you'll write the complete description of the finding and the observation itself, and then you will must have the criticality of the issue, the criticality of this finding, either it is minor, either it is major, either it's criticality, and you must have some kind of criteria in your procedures related to the inspection or all the findings, so if it will not affect the quality or the food safety, so it will be minor. For example, unclear date on the date is clear but there is a tiny scratch in the date, so you can read it but you must focus more to read it. For example, major, also you have some kind of dates on your product, but there are the date are missing. For example, the date on your packaging material or on your label, it's about date, month, and year. So major, for example, there is a month, there is a year, but the day are not clear or the day are missed, for example, so it will be major. Another thing, critical, you have product without any, the date coding are missed, so it's a problem, it's a critical. False date, so it's critical, so it will affect the food safety and labeling and traceability, whatever. So you must put a criteria of the findings, because for example you are having 50 findings minor while you are having 10 critical. So the criticals is very important, or you are having 2 minor but you are having 10 critical, so it's very critical. But in the other part or the other side, you are having 10 minor issues, and opposite to it you are having 2 critical findings, so it will be a little bit less accurate, less than that you are having very huge amount of open critical findings. What are the corrective action required, or the corrective and preventive action required, as the kappa report or the tutorials also in my HACCP series? Then you will talk about the what are the status of the corrective and preventive action. Either it's open, still open, there is no any closing for the findings. Either it's in progress or partially closed. For example, you have agreed on 5 topics in your action plan, or in corrective and preventive action, you have closed only 3 from 5. So you will mention it's partially closed. Or you can separate the finding itself, the corrective action, with instead of, for example, 4 bullet points, to be 4 rows in the log of the action plans, and either it is done or closed. Who are the responsible person for closing this finding? It's very important. What are the department responsible of this person who will close the finding, or the responsible department? So, for example, these are a little bit tricky. Sometimes, for example, there is an issue in a machine. So, the department which is responsible to fix this machine will be the maintenance team, or the maintenance department, or the technical department. Otherwise, the production department, which is responsible about finishing all the whole issue or all the whole finding. So the maintenance guy are one of the tools, while the responsible or the accountable department are the production department or the quality department. What are the due date for closing this finding? When you will close this finding? Because sometimes you need to analyze the due dates. For example, it's critical findings, and the reply came for you that we will close it about then after 2 months. So it's not reasonable due date. So it will be related on budget or related on capex. So I mean, it related to money. You need to spend money. Yes, it's critical funding. So you must do any additional control or any additional actions to control this finding from critical to be major, without keeping it as a critical as it is, without any corrective action meeting and done and waiting for the budget. Due dates to close the finding. For example, the first due date are missed for any reason, so you must mention what are the other due dates. The code of kappa, or the kappa number, as I've mentioned, the kappa log, or your corrective and preventive actions must be logged and numbered. The auditor name. What are the auditor name? Okay. Then, what are the agency related to the auditor? For example, it's an internal audit, so you will mention that he is a company employee. What are the corrective action verified by? Who will verify this corrective action? If there is any additional notes or observation, and this is for you as a tracker, issue tracker, for this issue tracker follow up. Sorry, or we have mentioned some kind of the term of the snag list. The follow-up actions, I will follow up on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis. And finally, what are the documentation reference to your audit part in the or the documentation reference to this finding? Either it's in a picture, either it's in a report, either it's in a note, either it's in a finding, whatever the reference of these findings. So these are the whole, as my deep technical experience in this part, this is a very, very comprehensive action plan or audit checklist, or findings checklist, and you can take from it a chart as you are in Excel, to have some kind of monthly view or annual review. What are the progress or of the findings? What are the percentage of the closing of the mainly the critical findings? Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience to listen to this tutorial, but it's very, very critical, very, very important report, the audit report in your HACCP plan. Best of luck for all of you, and goodbye.